What's up, everybody? It is Wednesday. That means we are wired to fuck in. Today, we have a special guest, a special young man from Seattle, Washington.
You're gonna make me blush.
You may know him. You may have seen him before, shaking that shit on stage. This is Pants. Pants, how the fuck are you doing?
I'm good. I have been looking forward to this. I'm glad that we're doing it.
Look, Pants got the fancy ass camera and everything. My computer can't even handle it, so it's just squashing your resolution down.
Yeah, it is what it is, man.
Before we get
that was fun.
Before we get started, it is St. Patty's Day, and Pants and I drink enough Jameson on the road to be Irish. But I'm not Irish. I don't know. Are you Irish, Pants?
I actually am very Irish.
Okay, shit,
Probably-
we got
I'm
an
probably
Irishman.
like- yeah.
Well, today we celebrate Pants's Irishness. I walked to the sketchy bodega, got a Guinness.
Hell yeah.
I just poured it like a real bitch, and it's all head.
They need to send you to that fucking school that they have where they teach you for a month how to pour a beer right.
God, I just poured that like a real bitch. Anyways, it is Wednesday. That means we are giving away a pair of Astro A10 headsets to anyone that is a subscriber. Not a subscriber? No problem. You got Amazon Prime? Well, fuck, man, that shit's free. So you might as well subscribe. And most of these motherfuckers have already won it. So your chances of winning... There we go. Buddy X with the tier 1 subscription. And he's already got a goddamn raffle ticket. There you go. He has shown you how that works. I'm not going to talk about it no more. Now you know how it works. You want to fucking win some headphones? Follow his lead. You got it. Pants. How the fuck are you?
I'm good, man. How was your day?
My day was good. I was trying to do some... Goddamn, Melissa Messner with 5
Holy
tier
shit.
1 subs coming out the gate, putting the cock on the table. Kind of rolling it around like some bread dough. Jesus Christ.
And twist it up into a pretzel.
Yeah, old pretzel Dick Messner. Thank you so much, Melissa Messner. We appreciate you. My day was good. I was trying to work on some music. I'm trying to wrap up that little lo-fi beat tapey fucking thing. So I made like an intro for it, but I've just been hitting walls lately, man. I'm not like, not in the zone.
You've been going, like, I feel like a lot of people that I've talked to have had zero inspiration through COVID and through being in quarantine. And
Why is that?
I don't know. I mean, I guess everyone draws their like creativity from different places, but like, I don't know. I mean, I can see it though. Like, I feel like people get stagnant, you know, and their lives aren't changing at all, and it's like just harder to do everything in some ways when your life's like that. And being creative, it's like I feel like then people get into those like feedback loops where they're like, oh, I'm not being creative. Like, why am I not being creative? Like, why can't I tap into whatever I usually can in order to like create stuff? And then that just makes it worse, you know.
And I feel a lot of people might have been just kind of feeling sorry for themselves this year, which is like hard to... I know that I'm personally kind of past that like part of my career where I just want to write music like that. But I mean, I'm guilty of like not having my spark during this whole time. I've been wildly sidetracked with life in good and bad ways, but like, you know,
That shit going on, man.
I come in here to like, you know, if I was going to come in here to like write a song like with lyrics and stuff, I don't even know what I would write right now. So I think that's why that like instrumental project is so good. How the names are reversed to put, you know, it's a good way for me to put some effort and, you know.
Yeah, and I think that kind of speaks to like diversifying the ways that you can be creative, because like if all that you were doing was writing lyrics, you'd probably feel exactly like that right now. Like, oh shit, why can't I be creative? I just can't make anything. And then getting yourself back out of that rut can be tough. But Like I honestly, like, I used to make music just like all the time, and then I just lost some of the spark to like go like I'm gonna go make a beat right now, or I'm gonna go do this and do that.
Yeah.
But I got into making film stuff and got into the film industry, and that was just like just a new branch for me to do something that like catered well to the skills that I had already been working with in music, but you know, it's just something different, and it's like it's new, and it's exciting, and it's hard to be like it's hard to not be creative when you're learning a lot really quickly. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think with stuff like film and even with Melissa Messner with 1,000 bits, you fucking beautiful creature. 1,000 back rubs mailed to you immediately. I think like as far as like film or photo editing, I've noticed that Parker with the subscription, we got britches, we got slacks in this bitch, we got Pants' brother. I think there's a similarity between kind of arranging and editing music and arranging and editing kind of visual.
100%.
Because there is a visual aspect to music that I think a lot of people overlook, and that's like kind of that work that's done in the studio. It's a linear progression that you see, and those are the things that, you know, it's a different level of creativity, and for me, that's like kind of where I shine. I'm not the most like musically talented motherfucker in the world, but like as far as that arrangement goes, things start to make sense when I see it. So
when like you get like you understand what sounds good, which is so much more important than knowing chords or knowing like, you know, than like being able to play your scales quickly or whatever. It's like,
yeah, I don't know that shit.
Having an ear for that, which you have like, which you're awesome with, like that's so much more important anyway. So, but yeah, back like to what you said about just like how similar music and film are. I mean, I've always just thought about it as like you're like arranging media in time, you know, and whether it's a WAV file or an MP4 file, you're just arranging media in time. So
Corn Dog with the motherfucking subscription. Somebody actually, it's funny that we got into this conversation because somebody asked earlier how you've been doing over quarantine, and how are you making money? And we kind of just dove right into that. But I think a lot of people don't know, like, the music thing is, you know, we're not on the road all the time. And, you know, Pants doesn't really put out records of his own and stuff like that. So you got other ways in which you dabble in the creative workspace. And we kind of already told him about it. But just for the person that asked, just go ahead and let them know, like, what are you doing? Like, what is your job, pretty much?
I mean, my job is really shooting and editing and like scoring and mixing and just doing all things like film. And when I first like started, when I dropped out of college and was like, all right, I'm gonna do this music shit, and I was playing with my local band Cosmos at that time. My dad was like, well, you know what? If you're gonna do that, then you're gonna start doing film work with me, because my dad's a director. So
that's tight. I didn't know that.
It was it was never in the. It was like never in my plan to do film stuff. But the more that I did it, the more I realized just like how it to me, it's like the ultimate culmination of all of those things. Like, I get to do audio things, but I also like I get to have my desk here and my editing station, which I like I like studio work, I like post-production work, but that would get boring. And so I get to go out and shoot, and I get to go learn how different jobs are done through different you know, like it's a job that is like never stagnant, and it's never the same. And I feel like it's easy to just be a better me while I'm kind of bouncing around between those different ways of working.
Yeah. Sometimes it's easier to stay focused when you have almost more distractions. It's poorly worded, but it's like when there's more things going on, it's easier for you to like stay focused because you don't get bored with the one thing, which for me is when I start to lose focus. When I'm fucking over it, I could just be like, I don't fucking care. And then I have no idea what's going on. So,
Yep.
yeah, it's tight. I mean, Pants has filmed a couple music videos for us, and, you know, Pants actually gave me the fucking #1 plug, and I've been doing like a lot of the voiceover stuff for them, and that actually landed, you know, us doing some great stuff and fucking around getting those vaccines and all sorts of shit. But yeah, I think it's important for a lot of people. Like someone asked, like, are you signed to Rhymesayers?
Ooh, those some good bits.
Do you work with other people? Oh, we just hit level 4 on the hype train. Holy shit. Are we doing it again? Is this happening again? Oh, fuck. Last time it just broke my computer when we got into level 5 and it just all started happening. I just had to sit back. If it happens again, I'm just going to sit back and drink the rest of this Guinness until my computer's done shitting its pants. And it looks like it's starting to happen again. Melissa Mester gifting 5 more.
I'm gonna drink a beer and throw my computer in the fridge for a couple minutes. Here.
Yeah, dude, it's just going.
Oh no, I heard that thing last time I was there. That thing is whirring when you're doing it. But we're gonna build you a new PC soon.
I'm gonna level up.
A whole new boy.
I'll be ready for the internet soon. Yeah, someone's like, are you signed to Rhymesayers? Do you work with other people? Probably assuming that your whole
Ooh, them some
financial,
good bits.
your whole bank account relies on music. And I want to make a comment on that, saying that it is extremely hard to make music your
Ooh, them some good bits.
full-time, holy fucking shit, Melissa fucking Mester, to like get by, especially in Seattle, like one of the most expensive cities in the country right now. To operate solely off of music is hard, and it takes Jesus fucking Melissa Mester with 5 more subs for that ass. Let's just see if I can stay focused through all this. This will be the this will be my test. It's hard to make it your whole thing because you have to dedicate a shitload of fucking time, and you have to have multiple revenue sources. And beyond touring, you have to have records, merch, syncs. I mean, just name it. And having those come in small fractions every month is like when you start to build like a full-time life off of music. So it can be a fucking pain in the ass. And I think you'd be surprised some of the people that you see on tour, like they definitely have side hustles allowing them to be able to do touring, because that doesn't really bring in the money all the time. Happy that you produced for Greater Than Pigs Don't Fly was fucking amazing. Much love to Pants. That's what's up. My computer is glitching so fucking hard right now.
It's coming through clear. It's coming through clear on my end, at least. I don't know how it looks on Twitch, but yeah. I mean, I was gonna say something similar about that. Just like, yeah, it is really hard to make money and to support yourself. I mean, like, I look at how hard you've worked for how many years now, like
15 plus, man.
You know, and it's like every year is another year where you got to be like, okay, how are we gonna go out and make money this year? You know,
what do we have to cut? What do we got to cut this year?
Easier, yeah. Like it doesn't get easier unless you're, you know, Beyonce, and then that's a whole different story. Or like,
man, if I was Beyonce, my OnlyFans would be popping.
If you reach that spot where you can go play big venues and sell them out all the time, then that's one thing. But the majority of people sit, you know, around like, I'm gonna go on a tour and play 200 to 300 cap venues everywhere, and it's really hard to make, you know, to support.
Ooh, them some good bits.
There's just 2 of us, you know.
Yeah,
like, think
3
about,
of
like,
us.
a big ass band.
Without Colin, there's none of us. So really,
true that.
Colin is the glue that holds us together. Because Pants and I have gone out on tour by just ourselves, and it's
It was
fucking
a shit
hilarious.
show. Oh my god, we're just blacked out drunk, standing on a corner, being like, "I thought the hotel was right here, man. I swear it's right here." The lady at the front desk said she doesn't know who we are.
Dude, low-key kind of did happen. Remember in London when we couldn't, like, we got an Airbnb and it just didn't exist? See, that's why we need Colin. God
Colin
damn.
would've built us a house with his bare hands.
Fuck. Melissa Messner, you are amazing.
She's going off.
It is fucking going crazy in here right now. We are 211% past level 5 on our hype train. You guys are fucking savages. For those of you who just
some good bits.
entered and got free subscriptions from Melissa goddamn Messner, what's with the bits, Messner? Thank you so much. If you hit exclamation raffle, fuck around and win some headphones. What a wonderful day.
We're both wearing them.
Yeah. Come on, get some headphones. Oh shit, I think I locked my girl out. Did I lock you out the house? Hello? Hello? I don't know what I did. Holy shit.
Hit the window.
Jays with the Silent Hulk gifting out 5 tier 1 subs. Holy fucking shit, with 15 seconds left to go, we are slapping.
Adrian Doe asked me what I'm sipping on. I'm drinking this Jameson Black Barrel. My
How
dad
is that?
actually, it's great. I mean, it's Jameson. It's just like slightly. It just tastes like a deeper aged Jameson. So it's got like a little bit more going on, but it's definitely pretty. It's not like they've got their like IPA barrel aged ones. Those taste like pretty different, but they're good. But yeah, I haven't had Jameson since a year ago, probably since we were on tour.
Really? I keep a
Yeah.
bottle in the house always.
I should.
I don't drink it all the time, but I definitely have it.
No, I should keep that as part of the bar. But usually, like, I get off of tour and I'm like, oh god, like I don't want to look at a bottle of Jameson for at least 5 hours. No, at least like a month or so. Like it is. I mean, being out on the road is, you know, it's tough, and you don't. I really like applaud the people who are able to go through like show after show after show after show and not just feel like, fuck, oh man, I need a drink and like or some sort of crutch, like some sort of ice. Like I think that's so impressive. The people who go out and go day after day after day after day and they're just like rolling with it. But I'm sure like it's way easier for them. They're like, I feel great every day, you know? I wake up and I feel ready to seize the day.
No, I need I can't tour without Jameson. That's my.
Yeah.
I definitely locked my lady and my child out of the house. I need to go unlock the front door. Sorry.
Oh yeah, do that. We'll kick it. Let me look through this. I'm bad at. Never streamed before, so let me look at what's going on in the chat. How's everyone doing? I think we've got my brother in here. I think my dad might be in here. Probably doesn't have an account. He probably can't say anything, but. Oh, my dad is in here. Because Colin's actually really my dad. Sorry, Dad. He's definitely done more of the dad duties over the last couple of years, unfortunately for him. I have a whole big thing of pants hats.
Yeah? Do you
Corn
want
dog
us
fan.
to, dude? Why don't we put those on our website and we'll just sell them for you?
I've been moving them. I mean, I've probably got 15 of them left. Every shoot that we go to, it's like, you get a hat, you get a hat, you get a hat. But I mean, it's all good. Like, it's kind of a fun little thing to have anyway. And luckily, you guys hooked me up with a good deal on them and stuff. So I got no regrets.
If you want to sell them, I will happily put them on our website. It looks like we got a few takers.
Yeah, I'll make maybe I'll do a fresh batch.
Ooh, a fresh batch of some pants hats.
Hit up our friend Mikey.
I think the same guy asked, how do we support pants? I think that's a good question. Are there outlets for you that people can, patron to help? Or
I don't
since you're
have
kind of in the
anything-
film realm, it's like,
I
yeah, you
was
could
just gonna
hire me to do
say,
your corporate commercials if you.
I was just gonna say, yeah, hire my production company. But no, I really appreciate that. But I don't have anything set up for that. But thank you, ButtX. That's nice of you.
I mean, you could.
I could set up like an OnlyFans real quick or something.
Dude, yes. Where it's just you like hanging out with you, like reading your cat's like child stories, like children books. We'll get you a nice robe. We'll take some of the proceeds. We'll buy you a nice robe, and you already got all the camera equipment, so you can really set up a really nice looking scenario.
No one wants to see what I got going on here in HD,
Dude,
man.
yes, they do.
No, in 6K.
6K. There's a direct fetish for 6K furry man stuff. I'm
Yeah,
just saying. Only
I got my own
pants.
category on Pornhub. It's just me.
Dude, only pants would be amazing.
OnlyFans.
I just wear pants, so you know I'm going
OnlyFans.com.
topless and I'm hanging out with my kitty cats.
Yes, I do. I have a couple of cats. And I actually, before this, I gave the one that, like, usually around now is like when he's looking for dinner and he would start like putting his arms under the door and going until I came out and fed him. So I gave him like a double dinner, and I put this like little hemp CBD cat oil that we got for him to try and calm him down on it. And so far, so good. He seems to be.
I put a little
seems to
Jameson
have
Black in his water
put
bowl.
him down. Yeah, a little kitty chow and Jameson. But I was just looking actually, and I knew once I realized that it was like a year since we were last on tour, I was like, oh shit, this is also around the time when I first actually started, like when I first met you and interviewed with you and started playing with you.
Yeah.
And I looked at that, and that was 4 years ago. In 10 days, it'll be exactly 4 years ago since like I came in and had my first meeting with you, which is crazy.
That is wild.
Time's
Those
gone by
years
so fast.
went by really fast, and did a lot of touring in that time. And for also, somebody asked how we met, and we met like kind of under like professional circumstances. Like my keyboard player at the time was moving to LA, and so he was gonna quit, and he had sat next to Pants on a
Just
plane
randomly.
ride one time, and we're like, okay, cool. Do you know anybody? Like, do you know anybody that might want to like take your spot or whatever? And he's like, well, I do know. He like gave us a couple names, and he gave us your name, and so we set everything up through management, and you came through. And the first time I was like, he seems cool, but he's like a fucking child. Like, you were 20 at the time, right?
20, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, he's young ass children. I was like, we've already had problems with the young dudes on tour, and I just got no time for that shit. And so we like interviewed with a couple other people, and then we were gonna set up like time for me to like get in the studio with everyone and like sit and play music and just see how it feels. And I think you were the second one. The first guy was like, I straight up can't do it. And I was like, he was like, I mean, I can maybe tour like 3 weeks out of the year. I was like, why are you
you're
even
like, nope.
here? And then Pants is like, or management was like, okay, well, we got Ryan next. And I was like, nah, let's just skip that. Like, he's super young. And it was Matt, and he was like, look, I don't give a fuck. Like, sit down, play music with the dude, see if it works. You came by, we played some music, and I was like, that dude is awesome. I was like, I like that guy.
Oh man, I'm
Messner.
sure I wasn't myself at all. I'm sure that first time I was so nervous. Like, I'm like, oh, this big rapper that I need to go like play music with, and like.
Yeah, but you were chiller. You were chiller.
Yeah, I mean, I was probably. Goddamn. Yeah, I mean, it all worked out in such a crazy way because, like, I mean, I consider you one of my like best friends, and it's just crazy like how easily all that stuff couldn't have happened, and like, it does go to show you, and like this is, you know, I was grinding with my local band for a long time, and we were just playing like multiple gigs every weekend and squeezing in as many gigs as we could, really. And it's just such a grind, and it's so hard thinking like you know, why isn't something happening? But it's like sometimes like it's a you know, like I think you have to like do the time to have the skills so that you can jump on opportunities when they come. But then at the end of the day, it's like I happened to sit next to Max. I was going down to film an interview of some like blind priest who they were doing this experimental eye surgery on, but that's not related. But I just happened to be like sitting next to him on that plane, and it led me to doing that. And you know, 4 years later, how many dates have we played?
A lot. How many countries?
Yeah, I've gone to Europe twice. Done Canada.
Lord a lot.
How many times. Yeah.
The name of the band was Cosmos, right?
Yeah, Cosmos. Yeah.
And Cosmos isn't really around anymore, right?
No, yeah, not really. But TJ Campana.
Yeah, he's doing pretty well.
Yeah, and he's so I started working on music with him when we were, or like I was in high school and he was a couple years older than me. And we started just playing shows together, just like classic. I was just DJing and he was just rapping, and then we wanted to turn it into like a more of a band thing. And but you know, that was like 5 people with saxophone. We weren't doing backtracks. Like it was such a different vibe. But it's tough, man. You know, like we got to the point where we were making like just enough money for people to squabble over, but not enough to actually make a difference in anyone's lives, you know?
Yeah.
And that's kind of a tough place to be, especially with, you know, five people is like that's a lot of mouths to feed. That's a lot of, you know?
Yeah.
So I was already like seeing some of the ways that I felt like that band was going to be tough. And then I got to start playing with you guys, and, you know, it was just like everything that I wanted with how professional you guys were, having like, you know, being able to go across the country and play to fans who knew all your songs. Like that was a crazy experience for me, because like when you go from playing like shitty club where you get treated like garbage by the staff there, and not that we don't sometimes get treated like garbage too.
Yeah.
But it's just like, it's such a different experience, and like being able to do that, I'm like so grateful that I got to have that experience. Which like, yeah, I mean, it again goes back to like none of this would have happened if I hadn't randomly happened
them some good
to sit next to
bits.
Max on that flight, and we happened to both be feeling like making beats that day, so that's what started our conversation.
That is crazy. Like that is like a wild thing to think about, you know? Like there are things that happen in our lives and like moments that do kind of mold and shape what happens to us. I'm not like uber spiritual about those moments, but I do believe carrying yourself in a way that people don't think you're a motherfucker definitely allows you to maybe benefit from you know, those encounters. I know that I definitely have throughout my time, and even in passing, you never know who you're sitting next to on an airplane. You don't know who it is that you're talking to in a venue. Like I myself have waited in line at the merch table to meet an artist that I wanted to meet recently, you know, like, I mean, clearly not recently because there's no shows, but I mean, like when I do go and it is someone that I want and they're at, or that I want to see, you know, I'm paying my cover and I will go wait at the merch table to try and meet this person, just to say hello. And for me, it's not politicking. I'm not going to be like, yo, what's up? I also make music. I'd be really tight if maybe we did like a little collab. Baby, you pull your dick out. I pull my dick out. You know what happens next. Docking. We're talking docking, baby.
Yeah, like, hey man, love the show. All right, now let's get to, you know, like
great show. Are you cut?
Yeah. I mean, hey, and I've made this mistake before, and if anybody thinks that the right time to talk to a musician you like or a rapper you like or whatever, right after a show is the worst possible time to talk to them.
Like jump in front of them on their way to the green room, like
Totally,
when
and
they're
you're just
done
like,
with stage. Hey,
and yeah, and I've totally been that guy. Like, you get your, it's like, I'm playing like local shows, and I get like, oh, I got a gig at the Showbox this weekend, and it's gonna be a big show, and all these people are gonna be in the backstage, and it's like, you just can't like force that stuff, and I think it's so hard to like ride the line between like kind of putting yourself out there and being like a go-getter and just being like, I'm gonna go meet this person, I'm gonna go be at this spot, and I'm gonna go like tell them, versus like just putting people off and being like another one of the people who's gonna maybe run up and try and say the same thing that they have to deal with all the time.
yeah, man. Behavior. It's crazy. It's like, I was even talking with Nick on here, just kind of like what my advice would be for like, people starting out wanting to tour and stuff. And it is wild that common sense needs to be hammered down so hard when it comes down to this. Like,
it's because people are so irrational when it comes to music, which is like part of what people love about it, and people think that like a lot of those rules go out of the window, because to be fair, at shows, a lot of common sense does go out of the window, and that's kind of the point, right? It's like,
yeah, let go a little bit,
get drunk and do whatever. Like it's definitely that type of vibe. So I see how people can forget those things, but
common sense ain't common.
Yeah,
It's tight.
yeah,
It
no.
really isn't, man. It blows my mind. Sometimes I feel like I'm giving bad advice because I just got to be like, don't be a dick. But it's wild how many people just don't understand that. And people will even be like, oh, okay. And you're like, really? You need to be told that?
Yeah.
The fuck?
Yeah.
But look, case in point, like you bonded with somebody on an airplane and fucked around, and then we met each other, and then we got to do that docking stuff that I was talking about.
You finally found someone who was a compatible fit.
I really
Everyone
did.
else, yeah, I'm just small enough to squeeze in there.
And we did all the checks where you get the soapy water and you go around to see if there's any bubbles, any air leaks coming out. We were fucking airtight, baby. We're sealed up.
I'm tight. You're tight. Okay, let's go, bro.
Seal it up. Let's seal up real quick. But it's
If you
true.
notice that my mic thing is bouncing a little bit.
Mine's
it's 'cause
always-
It's not a mic stand. It's the little claw grabber that I had for our last tour that I had.
Really?
So I could put my phone above me and like.
Yeah.
Watch movies at night. Yeah. Oh yeah.
For our
The one that
short-lived
Colin-
fucking bus tour.
Yeah, the one that Colin, again, just holding the team together, is like linking us, being like, you guys are gonna want a couple of these. That was crazy, man. That was gearing up to be such a fun tour. Like we hadn't had
I
like,
can't
our own
believe it.
bus like that before, and it's just crazy thinking back to like December or like January, and like the amount of like time that I like stressed out about being gone for 2 months, and like thought about like, oh man, like I've got to do all this stuff. I've got to make sure like I'm good
Yeah,
with
man.
all the film stuff, because like all of my editing always comes to a head like right before I have to leave for tour, and so my life's just fucking hell around then. So all that anxiety, and it's like, oh, it turned out to just be like a quick little two-week run up the coast. It's insane, man. Like, and then I was home, and then I'm like, I didn't think I'd see home again for 2 months. It's like
It was weird. It was definitely a weird
really
feeling.
Weird. It was really weird. But yeah, it was really weird being out and playing shows and being like, like arguably like the worst type of thing if there is a pandemic that is like that is brewing, like a big packed out show is like, obviously that's like one of the worst things you could do. So like being there, but like it was before everyone was like really like serious about it, and then once it got serious, it was like, okay, tour's canceled, everyone's going home, like, yeah, and here we are now, like a year later, and it does not feel like it's been a year.
No, it doesn't. It's been. I mean, my child is 6 months old. You know, like
That's
it's
insane.
yeah, it's. And when we were going on tour, you know, like Laura was here and like she was pregnant, and like part of me was like a little. I was definitely fucked up when this whole thing got canceled, but when I got home and I was like here and knew that I was here, part of me was a little bit relieved, I would say, because I do think that a lot of me did not like the idea of being gone and missing so much, you know, like through the pregnancy. And I got to be there for that. And I'm going to fuck around and be grateful for it, you know, as much as last year fucked me raw. I am grateful for a lot of things that transpired from it.
You gotta take whatever little wins you can get from that last year, and I mean,
Hell yeah.
like that obviously hurts you guys, like, you know, very hard financially. We had so many wheels set in motion for that tour that had to be basically just like, you know, canceled. And I mean, it goes back to like what we were talking about earlier with like making money in music and how hard it is to make money in music, because like if like there's no way to squeeze life around being on tour. Like there's no way you can like dip your toe in and then be like, oh, now I'm gonna go do this, and then dip my toe in and then I'm gonna go do that. And as a musician, like that's by far gonna be your most profitable area, right? So it's like if you really want to make money, then you have to go do this. It's like, oh well, then what if I'm having a kid? And it's like, well, kid's gonna need money, but it's like, well, now I gotta leave, and like now, you know, it's like that's just it's a very difficult job to make money on. And the dudes who I feel like do make money on it just are like the absolute like just road guys who don't even have an apartment, and they just you know, they just go from tour to tour and they pretty much just live on the road.
And that life is suited for a lot of people. And I mean, then you look at like people like, you know, Slug from Atmosphere that have been grinding it out for 20 plus years on the road. And one thing that I learned when I started touring with them is something that I kind of carried into my regime was those guys show up and everybody remembers them from last time in a positive way. And like, you know, they remember sound guys' names. They like, even now, like, you know, I was at the Crocodile checking out the new space, and, you know, Adam was like talking about Randy, like the sound guy. He's like, man, Randy's been with him for fucking blah, blah, blah. Like, their whole team is known. And I was like, when I start headlining, I'm going to make sure that no matter what day we're having, no matter, you know, what the attitude is, when we show up to the venue, we are going to leave like a positive impression on these people. And case in point, everybody knows Colin. Like, everybody knows Colin. Everywhere we go, like, people don't even talk to me. They're just like, hey, Ben, so good to see you. Like, how's Colin doing? Like, okay, blah, 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 blah. Like, Colin is that motherfucker. And that is like that's something that instead of showing up with the attitude like, yo, I get to do whatever the fuck I want now, I'm on now, or more so, those guys don't fuck around. Like, they're professional, they do the job. It's not about partying. We have fun and shit like that, but like, it is not what I've seen people do or what people think is going to happen.
We have fun once everything is like arranged, set into place. We arrived at the venue, you know, at 3:00 and set everything up and did like an extensive check, and like then it's like, okay, yeah, now we can let loose and like do our thing. But like there's all, you know, you're spending all day preparing for, you know, that 1 hour basically, and
locked up,
that
man.
1 hour is kind of what you get.
It's I don't know. I remember doing that tour with them in 2007, being like, these guys don't fuck around. Like,
that's really cool though, man.
They have fun, everything's great, but they don't fuck around, and that is what I want. Like, I want this to be treated like a job. I want this to look like a job, and I want to be, you know, solid and efficient when I show up to the venue. And that's something that, especially while bringing Colin on, like, you know, all I had to do was say it once, and Colin was like, I'm right on board with it, and just like locked it the fuck in from all his experience, like managing kitchens and shit like that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think it is kind of like, as we were talking about making a living in this, it's also like, I'm also trying to like make longevity out of this. Like, I don't want it to be like a moment in my life. Like, I want to have a life in music, and if I want to do that, then I have to be a reasonable human being. I have to treat this like a job, and you know, when things aren't doing so good for me, people will understand, you know, the positive energy that I've put forward, which, case in point with this year, like, terrible year for me if I was a motherfucker. If I lived my life like an asshole, chances are this year would have broke me. But since we have operated for 15 plus years with like love and integrity, we're able to stand up this year.
People
Skinny
reciprocate
Cody.
that, yeah, it's I mean, like you were saying about like having that rapport with venues and with the people that you work with, like there's nothing like pulling up to a venue and I know that we've played there before. I like the room and like the staff is super nice. Like everything, just like the whole day is so much better when that's the case, and it's better for them and it's better for us. Like they're like, oh, those guys are coming in, like they were nice last time, or respectful of our venue or whatever. Like those little things make everything so much easier. And there's a lot of people who don't think that that's gonna come back around, you know, but I definitely think it does. And you just talked about exactly how it does.
Well, how many times have we like showed up to a city that maybe you haven't been to before, and I'll be like, oh, I know blah 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 here, great motherfucker, and now you're home. Like, come on, look at Dre. Like, think about the people that have become like installments in your life now, just over like those interactions. Dre's a weird one because he has nothing to do with anything in the music industry. He's just a larger than life human being that, like, when he shows up to a room, you either be like, fuck off, or hey, come here and talk to me.
Just like, fuck yeah, bro. Yeah, no, Dre's a good guy to have on your team. He's the biggest. He's like the most lovable, like, sweet guy. But if anyone was fucking with me, I'd be like, you know, like, hey, look at my big friend here. he can get pretty scary in a hurry, I feel like.
I love that fucking dude. He, as scary as he looks, he always brings he brings the sweetness.
Oh god, I'm so happy when I know Dre's coming through to one of our shows, or like honestly, like, you know, anyone, like when you have a friend coming through, it breaks up, like, the day doesn't feel like a repetition anymore. You know what I mean? Like, well,
you have something to look forward to. Like, you know, even when you look at Arizona, you know, you got Ruben and Mike. You look at New Mexico, you got Thomas, and like, you know, the first time we went there, I was like, you know, it's Albuquerque. It is probably as sketchy as you think it is, but hold up. Like, we're going to roll out with the promoter. Let's go. Like,
such a great time there, man. Yeah.
He's good people. And that guy is an interesting idea of what we're talking about, because when I first started my career, so 2007, you know, he had booked a show for us somewhere. It was on the Atmosphere tour, but we contacted him afterwards. Or no, it was a Mac Lethal tour at the time, and we played the Sunset. It's like pretty much the lobby of the big theater there. And we played there. And so afterwards, my agent hit him up and was like, yo, Albuquerque's actually like a pretty good market for Greaves. I'm looking to like bring him back. And he's like, Albuquerque might be a good market for Greaves, but he's never worked with me, and I don't think he's ready. And I was... I
remember you guys talking about
I got upset about it at first, because I was like, if I'm ready anywhere outside of like Colorado and Washington, I'm ready in Berkeley because I'm already like putting people, like lots of people in the room. What the fuck?
Yep.
And he was like, look, I get it, and I don't disbelieve you, but you haven't done it with me, so, and I'm not like in the business of taking risks on people that I don't really know, so prove it to me. And so, we booked a show at this like art space called Stove, and we put like a couple hundred people in the room. It was me and Macklemore actually back in the day, because I was moving from San Diego to New York, and so I was gonna drive, and I had the Sprinter at the time, and I called up Ben, and I was like, let's like make a tour out of it, and it was called the Falling Off Your Shoes tour, and so we drove all the way across the country. But after that, Thomas like reached out, and he was like, all right, I was wrong, and like I would love to work with you if you think that's like a thing. Like he was honest with me. In a way that I think a lot of people would let their ego get in the way of and be like, oh, you don't want to work with me
not
now?
Say anything. Yeah.
Yeah, if you don't like me at my now, then you ain't gonna like me at my And instead, I was able to like take a step back and be like, that dude was being real with me, and most people are not in this business, and I'm going to go ahead and chalk that up as like respect points. And I still like talk to him, once a month on the phone. And like, I will consider him probably a friend for life. And it's because he didn't bullshit me, and it wasn't superficial, and it wasn't based on what can you do for me? What can I do for you? It was like, here's how I do things. Do you do them this way? I'm not going to let you like trial on my business. Let me check it out. And then if everything's gravy, then like I stand corrected. But,
No, that guy's
I appreciate
tight,
that dude for sure.
I love how he brings his kids through, and he's like, put them to work. He's like, teach them how to wrap a cable. Yeah. I'm like, oh yeah. No, he's tight. And like, I mean, I think it speaks to like, to those relationships that you guys have cultivated, like how well I've been treated, as an extension of you guys, because they assume that I'm probably not going to be a fuckhead because they like you guys,
You've been vetted.
I've been vetted, apparently.
Oh, but you're amazing, Pat. Like I am so thankful for Max for sitting next to you on that plane, because everything about you when I met you, I was just like, he's just too young. Like, this is gonna go bad. Like, this is gonna be bad. And it went the complete fucking opposite.
There's so many ways that this couldn't have worked. I mean, like, this is another weird thing. I was actually like really bummed out when we were first interviewing too, because I've got a buddy, Tyler Dops, who does like all of like Macklemore's production and stuff with Budo, who you obviously used to do everything with. And Tyler was like, I'm not trying to go on this tour, and Ryan needs someone to go like manage his mobile studio, blah, blah, blah. So there's this whole big thing. And then like, right, of course, as all these things happen, like last minute, it got like the rug got pulled out. And I was like, God damn it. Like that was my in to at least like create relationships with people who could maybe help me out further, and if I had done that, I never would have met you, and I never would have like started doing that. And like I'm so glad that that didn't work out. Like I'm so glad that I didn't do that, because it was just like it's insane. And like it's insane that we're where we are right now, because of all those little things that have to go right in order to make something happen. And so you think about like, how many times have there been potentially like life altering things in my life that were like that close, that, like just didn't happen. But
attitude, it's everything.
Yeah. So that beat tape that you're working on, I've been listening to it, because we've been doing those. We've been working for food, Ben and I.
Yeah.
We've been bartering for meat with this.
Very 2020 of us.
Very 2020.
We're carrying it over.
And we're using all of Ben's beats that he's been making for this lo-fi thing, and they're all so nice. I mean, I know I'm on like the big folder of like probably like all of the little
You got the demos, yeah.
the scraps and all that stuff, but like it's really good shit, and I think it's cool that you're, you know, like a lot of people would get into their lane of like, you know, this is how I like to make songs, and like you're such a prolific writer and rapper that it's cool to just say like, I'm gonna put that on the back shelf, and
Yeah.
I'm just gonna work on being a producer, because like, I mean, for starters, your drums are like flawless hip hop drums. Like I will never be able to make hip hop drums like you make hip hop drums.
I mean, that's just, you know, years and years and years and years and years of thinking about what I want the drums to sound like. And also, like, now it's like you can type in almost like a characteristic into Splice, and you could like get, you could be like boxy kick, and you'd have like 10,000 boxy kicks. When I was starting, you had to fucking sample the kick from a break beat, so you had to find a break on a record with a wide open kick enough for you to get out of it, and then maybe layer it with something else, and then EQ it and all that shit on onboard stuff. So like using the EQs and shit on the
You gotta send that
MPC.
shit back to Dr. Dre and have him loop it so you can actually rap over it.
Fuck, it was crazy. Like, I listened to some of the drum sounds on Irreversible, and I was like, holy shit. I was just using any goddamn drum sound I could find. Although some of them are great, I also just remember being like, I don't know, it's a snare that sounds like what I wanted to. And I just had like a hi-hat sound at the time, and I had like a kick at the time, because it was so exhausting to try to like needle drop and find like the exact. But over the years, I definitely became more like focused on that on that sound and that idea, and I, you know, like you say, classic hip hop drums, but it's like impossible for me to do these like trap drums. I mean, I'm like getting it, I'm starting to learn it a little bit, but it's just like my brain doesn't go to those like counter rhythms and shit that the trap stuff does, or the triplets and all that stuff. I just want shit that I can like ride to.
Yeah, but like your shit has like vibes, whereas like those things, like they do, like there's only so far you can go with those drums, I feel like, you know. And I think that they became popular because like all of a sudden everybody had the ability to make music, and they weren't where you had to sample a snare, and you appreciate the ability to choose all these sounds and the ability to do all of these things. Like it's like, I feel like trap drums are, you know, it's like the locked quantization a lot of the times, and like, you know, kind of like
Sonically they're amazing.
It's like true.
The way
Sonically,
that they
they're
work
amazing.
in the mix are crazy. Like a lot of the time,
agree.
I
agree.
gotta fight with my drum tracks to make them work with cleaner sounds, because they can take up a lot of space. And if you're sampling off of vinyl, you pretty much just, your low end is like, you'll look at your wave and it's like, you know, your kick or whatever, and it peaks around, you know, 80 or 40 or whatever kind of kick you is, and then from like 30 down it just goes scoop like all the way up because of all that like low end vinyl shit. And that is like
it all like compiles and stacks, and
yeah, you have that on every, like you chop all your sounds out of like a couple breaks, you have all that low end piling up. Like clearly shelf your fucking drum sounds, but like I wasn't doing that back in the day. I just had like beef, like 0 to 40, just beef stacked up. So that's gross. What's up with the dude that promised 2K for the banner? He, of course, ghosted when we're like, yeah, you got the top bid. He was like, yeah.
yours.
And I knew he was going to do that. That's why I was taking other ones, because I was like, this guy's full of shit. But maybe if I let him know that I think he's full of shit, he'll get all defensive and like, give me 2K.
I'll buy it.
Yeah. No, I am going to buy it for 2K. And I was like, well, okay. Fucking do it then. Well, I'm going to.
You got the money or something, bro?
Yeah, I kind of wanted to like drop his fucking handle on Instagram today and be like, hey, this is the guy that said he was going to pay 2K, and like kind of ruined the bidding.
You should have
fuck that guy.
doxed the shit out of that man.
I'm going to dox him. Dox his ass. Yeah, it would have been a lot of diapers. You know, I got to split it with the holdup, but still $1,000 to get you a lot of diapers. And dookie wipes. Don't forget, a diaper is nothing without the wipe.
A diaper
They
is a dookie wipe waiting to happen.
They're hand in hand. They are hot dog and bun, my friend.
How is your little boy doing?
He's good. He's growing, and so he's kind of like he's a little grumpy sometimes, but
Oh yeah.
he's good. He's good.
He's about as happy of a baby as you can get, though, man. Like I could kick it with that baby all day long.
I like that little
And
motherfucker.
I'm down to come back again soon,
Anytime.
man.
Roll
Yeah.
pants. You come to the house. You grab the baby. You can yeet him. He is fully yeetable now.
Fully
He can
yeetable.
sit up now by himself. He's like,
Wow.
we got a little pad, and he can sit on the pad. And I gave him a spatula, and he's like, fucking swinging the spatula all over the place. He likes it. Life is wonderful.
He's gonna become a menace soon. I mean, I feel like
know.
what 2 is usually, isn't it? People say the terrible 2s, right? So I guess you still
Yeah.
got a little bit of time.
Well, that's when they start gaining like preference for things.
Oh yeah.
And so they're like, I don't want to do this. And you're like, I get it, but you don't actually have a choice. Like, we're going to see grandma. You don't get to stay home and, drink juice
we weren't
boxes
doing
all
it
day.
before because you liked it. Yeah. Yeah. No, that's crazy though, man. But it is super nice that you're able to be home for that whole process and
Yeah.
and see the whole thing happen, because like I knew that was like stressful for you, and I knew that you're planning on getting like a couple visits, but like it's just not the same. It's just being there and being around and that kind of thing. It happens one time, and
Yeah.
I'm glad that you were able to be there for it. That's cool. He is like he's the coolest baby. As somebody who has met that baby in person, I can vouch and say he is the coolest baby.
He's a chiller, and he's sleeping through the night now, so I like him so much more. We get along so much better now that he's sleeping through the night. No, I have a Nord Electro 4, and he has the Stage 3, and mine's not 88 keys. Mine's 74 or something
Mine's
weird
not
like
88 keys again. I will never buy an 88 key keyboard again
Yeah.
for the rest of my life, unless it's a fucking like piano. That's the only. It is just like the amount of times when you need an entire 88 keys to play what you're playing is pretty much non-existent, and the amount of times that is going to be an absolute pain in your ass to lug around, or if
I
you
did it
gotta
for
move
years.
anywhere. Yeah, or even
I
just
hated it.
Even just have in your office. It's like it's way too big. I mean, this is like a 67 key, and I never feel like I'm running out of space on it.
Yeah, I mean, so Jake was pretty adamant about the 88 key. Like, he's like, I need 88 keys. And I was like,
He's much more of a piano player than I am. I mean,
Dude.
he is that. I mean, that man is. When I first started playing with you, and you're like, so this is what the old guy was doing on it, and I'd watch it, I'd be like,
yeah, he's nuts.
I was like, I'll write something that's kind of like that. Yeah.
He
like,
just got his
he-
master's in music theory.
Yeah, no, he was insane. And I mean, that was intimidating, but it was good for me. Like, I probably practiced piano around that time more than I ever did, because I felt like, oh shit, well, if this is the caliber that they're
That's
used
the
to,
bar.
No, but it's great. Like, it's obviously nice to feel like comfortable and secure, but like I get so much shit done if I feel like if I'm scared shitless a little bit like that.
Hey, you know what? Like, some of my best verses have been feature songs with people that were like, yo, let's do a song. I'm like, I can't believe this fucking person is asking me to do a song. To be real, my goal anytime I feature with somebody is to body them on their own record. Which is why when someone's like, whatever, just send me over your verse first. And then, like, here's the beat, send me over the verse and we'll like build something. I'll be like, no, because this ain't going on my record. This is going on your
Mm-hmm.
record. So I'm not writing a song for your record. You're writing a song for your record. So you send me your song, and then I get to listen what you did, and I'm gonna fuck you up on it. And I fucked up once. I did a song recently with Marley, and they sent me over this like beat with a chorus. And I was like, you don't have like verses? They're like, they're just working on verses. Just kind of like go off of what the chorus is saying. I was like, all right. Turns out that there was a verse. And I got bodied by Marley on that song.
Never again.
Never again. Never again. Yeah, I mean, that's the goal. Like, I don't want to go on your record and be like, why did you put this guy on your record? I want to go on your record and be like, okay, you're cool. Who the fuck is that? Is what I want. That's the goal. And
Yep. Yeah.
when I'm getting people on my record, I want the same experience. Like, I want people to be like, okay, we know you, Greaves, but whoa.
Yep. But yeah, I mean, I think if you give people the opportunity to step up, or the opportunity to kind of like level up their work a little bit, that they will. It's
Yeah.
just like fear is a fantastic motivator, and if you're worried that you're gonna be the one getting bodied, like you're probably gonna be cracking open the fucking thesaurus on that one. I need a fucking thesaurus.
Rhyming dictionary.
Yeah, I can't speak.
Man, I think well, first of all, when you hear music, and this is at least how it works for me, but like when I hear something, if I like it, if I'm inspired by it, I have that immediate, like, there's a reaction to it. And I
Yep.
want to use that reaction to write that song, which is why, like, it always starts with the music for me. I can't, like, write lyrics and then like bring them to a producer and be like, all right, let's make something about this. It has to be a reaction to the music that I'm hearing. And so when I hear your verse and then I'm like, okay, he did this, and then it, you know, like with that song that I just did with Echo, like my flow pattern is way different on that than his, and it's way different than what I normally do, but it was something that like when it came in, I just like heard instantly. So like I grabbed like the voice notes on my phone and was just like, I blah blah blah'd it. I was like you know, like I hit where I thought I was hearing it, and then I could hear the beat and the, you know, the vocals in the same thing. So I was able to write with that pattern, and I used that immediate reaction, that immediate inspiration. And to me, that's always gold. That's why we have demo-itis. You know, like when you demo shit and then you go back to the studio and you re-record it and you just don't think it's good. Because sometimes it's not. Sometimes it is not as good as when you just spent 4 hours writing, or, you know, whether it's writing fucking lyrics or whether it's like coming up with a lick. Once you've been practicing it and practicing and practicing it, and then you step up in the booth, or, you know, you hit record and you finally get it, that's the rawest form of that thing that you're going to get. If you take it and you listen to it for a month and then re-record it, it's going to be dumbed down a little bit because it doesn't have the same emotional, like, to it. So I no longer demo. I cut. And when I'm...
Fuck yeah. I'm recording all the time. If I'm like, I need to come up with an idea, the second I start trying to come up with the idea, I'm going to record, and I'm going to record in audio and in MIDI at the same time.
Yeah.
So that then if I'm like, oh shit, what the fuck did I do? And then I don't have to be like, let me try and use my ear and figure it out. Like, you've got everything there.
I need to do that.
Options.
Jesus.
You've got your takes. If you love the take, you can do that. But if not, you don't have to like try and think about what you did.
Dude, that is so genius, Pants. Because I'm looking back at some of these sessions, these lo-fi things, and I'm like, I want to add on to this. What the fuck chord is that? Because I was doing a lot of dissonance in that stuff.
Yep.
And I was like, I don't even know. Like, I don't even know. So I just gotta like let it go.
Yeah. I was.
That's
actually,
brilliant.
Like, right before you went into talking about that and talking about like the first wave of like the feeling when like you get like a creative bump on something, like maybe you hear a sample, and then like for me, like when I'm feeling like in my best creatively, I feel like I hear a sample or I hear like some drums or I'll play a couple chords on the piano, and for like a split second, I can hear a whole song in my head, you know?
Yeah.
And then from there on, it's like I'm trying to like you're like an archaeologist at that point. You're trying to like excavate this song that like already exists. And that's why I think like having your workflows just like as streamlined as possible, get those fucking key commands down, you know,
Yeah.
all that stuff. Like you need to be able to create as close to as fast as you can think up those ideas as you can, because once that wave is gone, it's gone. And you know,
Yeah.
like you can try and re-record, or you can try and, you know, go back to how the demo sounded, or look at it like that, but it's not going to be the same, and it's going to be hard to get yourself back into that. And that's why, like, you know, writers keep journals next to their beds and stuff. Like you've got to, once it's there, and when it's gone, it's gone. And if you don't have the ability to like really quickly like, oh shit, yeah, no, that's a good idea, then by the time you're done doing it, you're kind of already lost.
That's a good thing to talk about, because when I die, delete my voice memos on my phone for sure. But like, it's like you promise yourself you're going to remember it. And the second you say that to yourself, you should know that you never will.
Gone.
You know that it is already leaving your mind when you're like, I'm going to remember that. I doodled around on the piano downstairs a lot, and so for a while I'd be like, eh. And then I was like, I'll just take a picture of like the kind of root chord here, and then I know where I was like going around from there. And even still, so then I just started recording them, and I was like, you know, there it is. And then I would be like, fuck, I don't even really remember what I was doing. By hearing it, your idea of, with the Nord, you can track audio and MIDI at the same time. I've never even considered the idea of that, and that is so incredibly smart. And I'm taking that from you. I'm taking game from you right now, and I'm using that because
I took it actually because my old piano teacher, he did a ton of piano work for Ryan Lewis, and that's what Ryan made him do all the time. And I was like, that's a fucking smart idea, especially when you're working with someone like that guy, because like that guy is, you know, he is a fantastic jazz piano player. Like I
think I know why Ryan wanted that
know?
MIDI though. I think Ryan wanted the MIDI so that he can do what he does a lot, where it's like, here's your piano line, and then here's the same line in a different instrument.
Yep.
And it creates variance, but he just paid you to do the piano line. Like, not that he was coming up on you, but he wanted your MIDI.
He paid you to,
and then you could even take root notes. You could take the root notes out of that MIDI, and it made your job a lot easier than sitting around going, what's the root? Is this what the fuck is this? Is this like a melodian? Like, you don't have to fuck around with it. You have the line. If you think that that's something that you're going to work with, then you have the MIDI, and then you could take roots for bass notes, and you could go, down to third or whatever they're saying about bass. But you could also take the top ones. You can move it around. You could do pads behind it to add fullness. Like, I do a lot of that.
You
when
got all that information there, you know, you're recording it, you might as well, right?
I think that's a wonderful idea, and I wish I would have done that with a lot of this music. But you know, I do, since my chord game's not great, sometimes if like I can't get there or I just can't come up with ideas, I ended up buying this plugin called Scalar, which is like a kind of like a chord generator. And so you set your key, and holy shit, is it in depth in that realm. And then you can kind of set your variations within that key, and then you can go from sevenths to 13ths to susses to dims to like, and then you can like go way abstract with those chords. And it also detects chords, so you could be like, well, this is what I was thinking I wanted to play. And, you know, you could play the chords, and it would be like, this is that, and it will tell you this is all in F minor, this is all in F minor. You just got out of F minor.
Yeah.
So it's interesting because you can be like, it does sound a little off right there. Damn. and it'll be like you're out of F minor. And these are some wacky chords, but you're still in F minor. So I've been using that a lot, and then it prints the MIDI, you know, or you can take the MIDI and then you can see it, so then I could play it on here, but then I could apply that to like a pad, and then I have this like crazy fullness behind those like notes that I'm playing, and then I can kind of do a lot of what Ryan did, was take that line and apply it to a different instrument, or, you know, just take the roots and do like a monophonic instrument with it, and you just get variants that you don't really get if you just take the fucking you know, the piano lick. If you just have the audio from the piano lick, you can't. You're confounded to the audio.
What I did. What did I do? You know,
exactly.
Because like a lot of times, like it goes back to, again, like the sanctity of the demo. Like there is, like, this is why, I mean, music is done like this. I've actually been doing this with my buddy who I first like started learning how to produce with, like when we were freshmen in high school. And his little brother, who is just like a music theory monster. This guy's like insane. But we just jam, and it's just like, it's just no one, like, we're just kind of cruising around here and there and jam. And occasionally we land on like stuff that I could never write, stuff that I could never compose myself, because it's just so random. And we started tracking those, so like we can be like, cool, so like this, there was a really good section back there, and then we can go back and listen to that section and then be like, ooh, I like his part, and then if we were to like rewrite my part to go with his
that's
part,
pro shit
better, and like
that's pro shit.
That's been really fun. And part of why that's fun is because we're just doing it to fuck around, you know, like we're like, there's no pressure, there's no like, it's like back to what, like, how my relationship with music like first was before I went on tour about it, you know, like it's so different when something that used to be like, because like music originally was like just a good outlet for like stress or for like any of that stuff for me, and I think it still is, but it's taken me a while to go from there to having it be something that is like very rigid in some ways, you know, with like touring and like scheduling and all that stuff, then back again to like, you know, trying to go back to what made me enjoy doing this in the first place, and like what did I like about doing this in the first place, and like what are ways that I can kind of, you know, get back to the feeling of having it just be kind of lighthearted and not and I'll also be my best creative self if I can get back there too, you know.
Well, you got to think about, like, you know, those moments that we had when I was writing Mr. Nice Guy, and I would like play you some of these demos, and you'd be like, I got some shit for that, and we would come in at night, and it was, you know, in the Queen Anne studio, and it was just like instantaneous, like, woo, you know, like we were able, like, having that emotion like behind doing something that excites you as you're listening to something that you're creating is what I believe is the key to making good music. Like being excited, being a fan of the music that you make, and having like those goosebumps and that emotional reaction to like, no, that's good. Like that is good. Like knowing to know when to call
like
it.
Someone else. It should feel like someone else's song, you know? Like it should feel like I said, like you're an archaeologist, like you're trying to excavate a song that's like, you get this flash of an idea of what it is, and like maybe it's just seeing like the fucking pinky toe of a bone sticking out of the ground, and like from there it's like it is that feeling. It's the same feeling as when you're playing something and you get that feeling. It's just like riding those waves and learning how to like have enough discipline almost like built into your skills as a musician to be able to like ride those waves and still get shit done, still be recording it while you're doing it or whatnot, you know, still like figure out the ways to like meet somewhere in the middle between having like a rigid studio session where you're like, here's the part I wrote out for you, and being like, and doing what I've been doing with my homies, which is like we're just we're just jamming.
Well, some people look at music that way, and you know, those are people like Jake. Those are people like my homie Andrew, who actually the song that's playing right now, he did the strings on. This Night Shift beat is playing right now, and he is able to hear what he wants. He's able to write it down, you know, like sheet music, and then play it, and then he could source that out. He could do whatever he wants.
Totally,
Like he's able to compute music like math, and so for him and that doesn't take any soul out of it. It's just a different experience. For me,
completely not. Yeah.
For me, it is you know, when I first got into like the audio engineering game, and like I went to school, and then I was interning at a studio, and the engineer that turned out to be a really good friend of mine, and to this day I'm still close with, he said always be recording. That first take is normally the best take, because they don't, you know, people don't think the microphone is on, or the guitar player doesn't think that it's always like when the red button goes on, for some reason psychologically something happens to people, and it's important to just always be recording. And when I was recording Paris for her first time when she came through the studio, that was my plan. I was like, let's just run the beat. Let's just think about what we could come up with, and let's just like hear different things. And she was just singing. Those were the parts that we used on the song, because I was recording. I just didn't tell her I was.
Yep.
And then she was like, okay, so I was like, yeah, a little something like this, and like was able to play it back. And she's like, oh shit.
Yep. That's great. And it's something that we do when we're shooting a lot, like all the time.
Yeah.
We see like people like joking around and like they're giggling around with each other and they don't think anyone's recording. We're like,
authenticity.
You know, it's like,
you get the authenticity because when people think they're being watched or listened to, they put on the.
And
that's why acting is so weird, because people are like,
what I was gonna
hello, I'm here for the pizza.
A good actor can just turn that off in their brain, where once the camera starts rolling, and once you've got all these guys holding flags, and like, you know, you've got 20 people gathered around and whatnot, it's just performance art at that point. It's like being like, going up on stage and just being like, you know, I'm gonna play this as I would usually, and it's just repetition. Like, I'm sure what it's like being an actor, unless you just got a boss hog or something.
Oh.
you're just that confident. But
dude, unless you're like Steven Seagal, which I've been watching Steven Seagal movies lately. I don't know why.
They're running.
Why does he run like that? And also, why did anybody let him get away with that?
Like all day.
Dude, it just flapping his wrist. And did you see where it was like his montage of like, so he had just gotten shot and was in a coma for 7 months, and his family was killed. And then it was like his montage of like getting better. And it like, also that the part that I'm about to describe is the last part of the montage, which is immediately followed by a sex scene. So he is clearly over his dead family after he is back into back into strength. But
he had to put the montage there to let you know that he took the time.
Like, this is how I get back to full strength. It's just slap box in the air. This fucking, like, 90s action heroes, I would be so good. I should have been born earlier. I could have been a fucking Hollywood kingpin.
Usually people are like, oh, I was born in the wrong era. And it's usually like, I wanted to be around when Nirvana was like at their height. But you're like, no, bro, I want to be fucking
top
Steven Seagal. 1997.
Yeah, I want to be 35 years old in 1997. I want to be Steven Seagal. I will outdo him every fucking mark of the way. I mean, I know he knows karate, but now I don't know if you've watched his movies from like the 2000s and shit, but like he got so big, not fat, like he's just a wide-bodied motherfucker. He's just a big dude. I don't know what's going on with him, but he'll like get into fighting stance, whatever Steven Seagal like fighting stance is, and he'll get into it, and then fucking it will like film the like lunge or like the action move, and then it will immediately cut to the hands that are definitely not his, like doing the fucking yeah, and then it will cut back to him going, huh. Every single fight scene in every Steven Seagal movie, especially with the kicks, because you know that big motherfucker's not getting his foot all the way up there, and I love
God,
it.
no.
I love it so much.
I feel like pieces like that, you watch them and they are like so perfectly what they are, and like that's what's so great about them, you know? Like,
Dude.
My girlfriend put on America's Next Top Model recently, and it was just like the outfits, like it's like the low cropped jeans and like the like it looks so bad and so perfect, like early 2000s. Like,
Hey, that was hot
like
titties back
shit,
then.
You know, it was like, oh man.
Hey, I would
but yeah.
fuck with a ponytail. Are you kidding me? Are you
I
kidding me?
I could probably put a decent one together
Are you
now.
fucking kidding me? What I could do with a ponytail? I put ninja stars in it and his reality police show is off the chain. That shit is crazy. Yeah, that he actually became a cop to some degree. What a fucking weirdo. He lives in
No,
Russia
it's so
now.
weird.
That's
Isn't it
another
called
thing.
Isn't it called Steven Seagal Lawman? I think that's what the show is called.
Maybe. That motherfucker lives in Russia now because Putin probably was sitting around and watching fucking Under Siege and was just like, this guy's a badass. And like fucking offered him like tax-free living in Russia.
Wow.
And this motherfucker is living in Russia now. Good job, Steven Seagal, you son of a
just
bitch.
making his movies out there. He's still doing stuff, isn't he?
Yeah, he's living tax-free in Russia. I don't know what the fuck he's fighting bears or something. I don't know what you do out there.
Yeah, North Korea lost the bid.
Yeah, dude, can you imagine him like Rochambeauing over Steven Seagal? That's so tight to me. If I could draw, if I could animate, that would 100% be a thing.
They had Russia's best bear fight North Korea's best tiger, and
God, and just Putin
winner
and Kim
gets
Jong Un
Seagal.
just throwing fucking rock, paper, scissors. Steven Seagal just sitting there like, guys.
Guys, stop. I mean, I wanted you to fight over me, but guys,
Can't we just share?
can we
Like
just
half
guys?
the year in
Hey,
Russia
there's
and the
plenty of-
other
yeah,
half.
there's
And
plenty of Steven to go around, ladies.
I'll take you to the bank, to the blood bank. Fucking Steven Seagal.
Yeah,
Shout
you can
out
tell-
Steven
You
Seagal.
can tell it's a man who writes his own dialogue.
Dude. And that movie, Hard to Kill, that I was watching, had his wife in it, and his wife was the lady from Weird Science, like the babe that they like conjured up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's his
shit.
wife.
It like in real life, or
Yeah, in real life and in the
Wow.
movie. But
Did
yeah,
she make the move to? Did she make the move to Russia with him?
no, they got a divorce. I don't know what kind of beef transpired between him and the Weird Science lady, but they were together for like 10 years or something like that. You can IMDb or whatever, fact check me, I don't know. But they were together for a while. Grievin Seagal is tight. Holy shit.
Grievin Seagal.
Dude. That's a music video concept. That's a low budget music video concept. I just get a
Me-
ponytail.
It's me and you in a camera out
Dude.
in a field.
I'll buy the like 90s like VHS like shoulder cam for
I
it.
just watched a video the other day about how to get like old VHS looks color grading. And
Really?
I've got you.
Okay, cool. I mean, we can always just like call up Leon and just take his fucking video camera that he used to shoot all the home movies on
Oh,
and just
perfect.
get it. Which
I've
would
got
be
my dad's old high 8 camera, and I've been trying to get all of our old home movies off of him. Oh, dude, there's so much. There's just, I mean, my dad was a filmmaker for a living, so it's like if anyone's gonna take a shit ton of videos of their kids, it's gonna be that guy. So I've got a box just like lined and lined and lined with tapes that One of them is called like Ron's, which is my dad, Ron's bachelor party. I think that one's gonna stay analog. I don't think we're gonna digitize that one.
I can comb over that one if you need me to. I'm down to look at your dad's, premarital discrepancies. But
The 15 to 20 year shelf life of high footage probably suits that tape pretty well.
I can't imagine a bachelor party in the 80s holds up well.
No.
Dude, I want to do a music video that's just me with a ponytail doing like
do
a
it.
Steven Seagal montage. Like, my family just died. I got to get back to full strength so I can come after these motherfuckers. I don't care about either side of it. Like, I don't need it to be like showing the family dying or going after them. I just want it to be the montage. Like, me waking up in a weird spot and being like, who are you? I'm blah, blah, blah from the hospital. And be like, okay, my family died. I have to get better. And then it's just me like running like a bitch up a hill and like fucking punching wood blocks and like doing tight shit. That would be awesome.
You need to have. I feel like Echo would write such a perfect like Steven Seagal verse. I feel like he's so good with like the thematic verses that he does. Like he's done like the Marvel and like DC and that kind of stuff.
He would pull.
I feel like
Yeah.
we need to get Echo on that.
I just want it to be. No, I want the video to have nothing to do with the song. I want it to be completely irrelevant to the song.
This is more of a short film that we're working on. Actually,
like fuck it, let's do it for like one of the lo-fi songs. Like it is
yeah.
completely irrelevant to the song whatsoever. It's
All
just
you got to do is build a great Steven Seagal sample into one of those lo-fi songs. And
dude, I can do that. I'll take you to the bank, to the blood bank. Like that one. I'm just saying that'd be tight. And then you could do subtitles for all of the dialogue.
Yeah.
Which would be fucking hilarious.
That'd be so funny. Let's do it.
Yeah, I want to do that. Colin, fucking free up some money. Colin, I have an idea.
Pretty much all we need is an extensive wig budget, and we should be good to go.
I want real human hair. If I can, I'm gonna try to get some Steven Seagal hair, some actual certified with the certificate.
Imported fresh from Russia.
Imported fresh from Russia. This ponytail is woven strictly between Seagal hair and the actual bear hair. Very nice, very good.
Weave.
That'd be sick. I wonder how much Steven Seagal would charge.
To use his likeness?
Nah, just for like some hair. Fuck his
for some
likeness.
hair?
I could take his likeness. I want human hair from the man.
Like, can I have some of your hair to use in a music video and definitely not to try to clone you with?
I'm definitely a fan. I'm definitely not trying to make a clone that you will have to fight in the future for your safety.
That would be a great Steven Seagal movie if he had a clone of himself. If they did like that Will Smith movie, that whatever that was that they came out with recently, Gemini Man.
Yeah, that shit was
where it's,
crazy.
like, fighting a younger version of yourself, Steven Seagal fighting himself. What would you do if everything went to plan and you successfully made a Steven Seagal baby? Like, how would you raise that child? Like, what would you do with that child?
I'd teach him to run right, for sure. I'd be like, you tuck your motherfucking arms up when you're running. You do not run like this. You get these. Get these things up. God damn it. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what I would do with him. But you know what? When I signed up for 23andMe and I was like, well, the chances of me having to fight my own clone in the future just got fucking went through the roof. Because now they got my DNA. Now they got my DNA and I might have to fight myself in the future. You never know.
You always got to be prepared.
You know what? That is great advice. Everyone watching this stream, you should be prepared at all times. You should stay ready so you ain't got to get ready to fight yourself in the future because you don't know that hotel room that you skeeted in if somebody didn't come in and swab it up and get it in there and fucking you don't know. There's little clones of you there could be a man in the sewer taking your pee. You don't know this. He could be in the sewer taking your pee
don't
and
know
making
where it goes.
clones of you right now. This is do you have
Little
a camera?
piss clones.
Yeah, you get little pee-pee clones. You don't know this. So you should stay ready so you don't have to get ready to fight a younger, better you in the future. And that's
There you go.
free knowledge. You didn't even have to go to college for that shit. That's free.
Write that down.
Go ahead and bookmark this one.
Better have a pen handy for this next piece of knowledge.
Can you imagine? That'd be fucking crazy. That sounds like a better concept for the Gemini man. Here's the deal, Will Smith. We were hiding under your house. We collected your pee-pee. We created this other guy, and we knew he was going to fuck you up in the future. But you didn't know that we was under your house getting your pee-pee.
Making little piss monsters under your house this whole time.
Yeah. Okay, fine. All right, Parker. It is a better
Are
idea.
you still sipping on that Guinness?
No, I drank the Guinness. I drank the Jameson. Although I pour my Jameson into here to make it look fancier. Yeah, he's from Jersey.
And if Jameson would like to sponsor me, I will gladly keep it in their bottle.
If Jameson would like to sponsor me, I would gladly stop pretending that Kirkland Signature Select whiskey is Jameson, and we could just level up a little bit. But, you know, they're selling half gallons for what you're selling liters for, so your boy's got to make the executive decision, and he's going with J-Mo Light.
Hey, it's a free market, baby.
He's going with J-Mo Light. Colin, let's go ahead and end the raffle. It is getting towards the point of the evening where I got to put my baby to bed. I wonder, we got a lot of new subs today. This could go any fucking way. It could go any direction.
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of names in the raffle.
Yeah. I don't know if all of them did the raffle thing. You know what? Before we cancel it, if you are a subscriber, go ahead and hit !raffle right now. You could win some Astro A10s just from lurking in the background, because I know you're lurking. I see you lurking. I can hear your breath. I can feel the hot air on the back of my neck as you creep up behind me in the shower. That's how I knew you were there. But somehow I pretended that you weren't because I kind of like it. You know, I just continued to shampoo like you weren't there. Yeah, I say it like that. I shampoo my hair.
A shampoo. Do you say scenario instead of scenario like an asshole?
What a scenario where I might shampoo my hair.
Much shampoo.
I might drink a Red Bull and fuck around and get crazy in this bitch.
Might I get a spot of shampoo?
A little bit of shampoo. Ooh. Rooting for Tammy Jean.
I was thinking about the Too Many Teas boys the other day, and I was just thinking about being like really drunk doing British accents at them, and how good of guys they are really for just letting
good
me
dudes.
for just letting me do that.
Good dudes. Remember their American accents though? Pretty fucking good.
It was oh god, it was Ross who had a killer one, I think, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Oh my god, yeah, it's so funny.
I learned something in that van because remember I was watching a movie with Don Cheadle where he had a British accent or whatever.
Italian job. He has the worst fucking.
They're like, it's so fucking bad, and I was like, it doesn't even sound that bad to me.
Like, I think I might need some fucking explosives for this next one, eh? Me thanks, I just
Ooh,
might.
them some good bits.
Thanks. Yeah, pretty fucking funny.
I don't like dogs.
Yes. Pretty fucking funny. I would have never thought about it. Like, I think the first time I watched it, I was like, wait, is Don Cheadle British? Damn, Donnie.
Yeah, because you get that. It's like, oh, yeah, I like that actor. And you see him like in an interview, like all British. So it's like, oh, okay. It's just the other way around this time. But no, it's like, apparently like really obvious. Probably like somebody like for us being like, hi.
But I don't
partner.
I didn't notice. Like I noticed now, but I didn't notice like Rick Grimes from fucking Walking Dead. Like I didn't know that guy was fucking full on British. I didn't know that he was in Love Actually, like that British. Like
you gotta be some kind of British.
that guy's British as a motherfucker, and I didn't even know that shit. I get fooled all the time. That shows how fucking worthless I am. Hey, shout outs to Buddy X for winning them headphones, man.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Congrats.
Yo,
They're
Pants.
great. I use them every day.
They are solid. You will enjoy them. Thank you for coming through the stream.
They've got. This is my favorite thing.
Ooh.
That magnet snap. Ooh. Ooh. Ooh.
It's a little hard to.
It's like,
yeah, there it is. There it is.
It's the most satisfying snap.
Sick. Yeah, I like these. You know, you can custom make your own. They have like a builder online where you can like design whatever you want for them.
Don't you have a custom pair somewhere?
I gave them to my niece. She really liked them, and she's playing like Call of Duty like pretty seriously on her PC. And I was like, you can have these.
We'll build you a PC. We got to get you to play a game.
No, I get fucked up in that game. No, if you want to play Worms or something like that, I'm down. You want to play Duke Nukem? Let's go.
Roman's probably closer to a professional gamer at this point.
Yo, my fucking 6-year-old nephew plays Fortnite, and holds his own. Yeah, holds his own, and then I fucking come in and try to play it, and the second I land, I get fucking shot in my shit. So
you can't compete with a 14-year-old's reaction time.
My motor skills are better than a 6-year-old's. Fucking, god damn it. Get a new PC so you can get back on the Overwatch. I would love to get back on the Overwatch grind. And
I will buy Overwatch if you will play with.
Let's do it.
I have it for Xbox, but I'll buy it for PC.
Yeah, I'm happy to do that. I love Overwatch, and
yeah,
I still got it on my Steam account.
I've been playing Valorant recently, which is like it's like Counter-Strike and
Battle.net.
Overwatch.
Yeah, I've been watching that too. It looks pretty intense.
It's very intense, and it's like so sweaty, and like we were just talking, like I just get beat up on by like 14-year-olds in there, and then they'll be like, "Come on, like you fucking suck," and I'm like, "I know, okay,
I'm trying."
I know I suck.
Yeah, I can't handle that shit. I can't handle that shit. I tried to play Fortnite on my own like a couple weeks ago, and I did 7 rounds, and the last one, some children ass child was fucking just yelling at me, and I was like, fuck this game, fuck
Where
this
do you
game.
live?
Yeah.
What's your parents' numbers?
Drop your address.
Age, sex, location, player.
Dude, I was so fucking pissed, and I was like, I'm not doing this anymore. So I suck at those games. Battle Royale is not ever going to happen on this Twitch stream. I might play some Overwatch. I definitely would play some Sarah wants to play some horror games. So we'll play some horror games. Yeah, that's what she wants to play.
Yeah, I saw her playing that a little while ago. I have that game. We should all run that together. That'd be fun. We can do a little combo stream or something.
AC Smith, holy shit. I would also play Borderlands on PC. I've never played it on PC, so I'd go after it.
Yeah, your PC's gonna run everything so much better than that Xbox.
Well, and I bought the crazy like curved monitor too.
You
so
did?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, that's what I got going. It's
gonna be.
It's the best, man.
It's gonna be a thing. But yo,
that's the shit.
I gotta put this kid to bed.
Yep.
Pants, I love you. This was great.
I love you too.
Thanks for coming out and just talking shit, drinking Jameson.
Of course, dude.
Everybody that came, like pros. Everybody that came out, thank you so much. Buddy, enjoy those headphones. We'll be back on Monday for happy hour. We're making milk punches, so fuck around and learn how to make a milk punch. Impress your neighbors. Who knows? I don't know. You should come and check it out. Either way, I love you. Got some new music coming soon. Pants. We have a playlist that we drop every week, as you know, but you picked a song this week.
did.
What song did you pick?
I picked "Woo" by Remy Wolf. Something that my girlfriend showed me that I've been like,
Tight.
And then since then I've been like all over there. So shout out Ratch on that one.
Ryan Cha Cha. I saw
yeah,
her
I don't
with the
know if
gym
she's
in the garage
working in
now.
here.
I see she's about to get swole, bro.
She's gonna kick my ass, bro.
Yeah, you're gonna have to have her dial back the hand
She's
jobs
just-
to 50%.
She's just one Steven Seagal montage away from kicking my ass.
Oh, Ranch. Well, tight. So check that song out, and then Colin, drop socials on Pants. Where, the distillery. If you guys are interested to see any of the film work that Pants has been doing over quarantine and over the past 5 years, definitely check that out. And I'm just gonna say, if you're interested in some film work,
Hit me up.
call your boy. Call your boy.
Hit us up.
You know where to find him. Peace, y'all. We'll catch you next week. Stay safe. Wear your mask. We're almost through this. See you soon. Peace.